It is 47 BC, and Cleopatra VII and Ptolemy XIII vie for the throne of Egypt. Julius Caesar supports Cleopatra's claim, but is outnumbered and besieged at Alexandria. His ally, Mithridates of Pergamon, marches into Egypt to relieve him. Ptolemy, intending to defeat this army, travels down the Nile River to meet them. However, it is Caesar who finds Mithridates first and leads a combined force against Ptolemy on the banks of the Nile. Julius Caesar has joined forces with his allies and is marching on Ptolemy's army. Ptolemy's position is fortified by nature. His hilltop camp is guarded by the Nile to the east, steep terrain to the south, and surrounded by marshes. Caesar must find a way to overcome Ptolemy's superior position and put an end to the Alexandrine War.
General, the Egyptians line up against us on the high ground. We must find a way to drive them off. ATM! Warriors, ready! Riders, advance!
My lord? Riders, advance!
Archers!
Ready! Scrappers, ready! Get running! Forward! Elephants ready!
Welcome back YouTube, my name is Kerberos and today I'm going to bring you a slightly different video to that of what you normally expect. So we are going to be running through a little sort of how-to or tutorial on what to do in the Rome Total War II Battle of the Nile historical battle. So obviously you've heard the introduction there, you've seen the sort of the brief, the historical background and the significance of this battle, and I'm going to be running through maybe not exactly how it happened in the real sort of battle back in the day, but either way it's a successful tactic that seems to work. So either way guys, stand by for sort of my narration of this video. I did record this just so I could focus on it and really get the game done and completed before I sort of worried about the narration, and I thought, right, in the aftermath I can narrate over it, speak about what to do, and generally sort of explain things through. So first things first, the ship battle. Obviously, as you can see on your screens, I'm bringing up my my triremes, or my boats, my war vessels on the sea here, and bringing them up to face theirs. Now, I really wouldn't worry about these. Essentially, these ships here are just to stop their ships from docking and flanking us. Now, there's absolutely no threat from the ships over there. If you can defeat that army at the top of the hill, you do not have to worry about the ships. So kill whatever you can on the ships, fair play, but don't worry about it too much. Like I say, there's just no need to worry about the boats. They're of no real significant threat. The main threat is up the top of the hill. So I'm going to let you have a little look at how we fight the ships. Obviously, it's a little bit scrappy, I'm not going to lie. We do end up, I think we end up winning and defeating them, but it's at pretty much a cost of like all of our ships as well. But you want to lock them in essentially, and then flank them, and then pound them with the catapults and try and set them on fire. I would recommend taking manual control over the catapult and using obviously the flame mode, mainly because you can get much better hits in than it can with the automatic firing. And then obviously holding them in place is probably going to be a best bet as well. So I'll stop narrating at this point. I'll let you see the battle that commences, and you can pretty much just copy that, and you'll probably get similar results to me, maybe if not better. But like I say, if it doesn't go that well on the naval fight, do not worry.
Proud Romans all. Assault ships ready to attack. Mars, aid us.
We await your command.
Crew and ready. Ships ready. Set off. Commander. Attack! Firepower ready! There are horrors even now below us. Ready, willing and able! Romans ready for duty!
Ships ready. Legio Parati.
Orders! Hard on the oars! Assault ships reporting!
Brave Romans to a man.
Ready, willing, and able! Ships waiting! Crewed and ready! Weapons ready! Attack! Brave Romans to a man! Hack them down! Your orders? Assault ships reported! Attack for Rome! Commander! Weapons ready! Ready for orders! Ready, willing and able! Hack them down! Mars, aid us! Ships at your command!
Crewed and ready. Rome is mother to us all. Assault ships reporting. Mars, aid us.
Artillery ships ready!
Okay guys, so as you saw, that's the naval battle done. Right, so I'd recommend getting the infantry into position, which you can see on the screen in front of you. Obviously take the time now just to pause the video, and position those as you see on the screen. Sorry if the sort of unit information bit is in the way there. Just doing a quick zoom in video, or quick zoom in on this, just to see the little smash that we're going to do. I think we wrecked them first time, do we? No. Oh man, that's close. One more hit and then they're down. Come on, come on, come on. I know we're going to probably defeat them normally, but it looks like I'm just wanting to cement this kill. Yeah, look at that. We lost that first ship there, and boom, they're gone. Okay, right. I've got peace of mind now. You can dock these guys, but there's no real point. I was kind of thinking about using the catapult to target fire on the infantry up on the top of the hill, but just to let you guys know, you can't actually do that. It's pretty much impossible, unless you manage to coax them down somehow. Right, so back to it. What you want to do, you want to use your camelates, your camel archers, to head up the hill and distract them. So basically what you're doing, you're not distracting, you're more sort of luring their cavalry away. Your camel archers are going to take a massive amount of fire. You really need to be careful about that. So you want to march them right the way up the hill, going all the way to pretty much their front line until you start to take fire, and their cavalry will start to move from their lines. So you'll see me doing a little zoom in shot just to show the camel archers charging up. There you go, that's some fire back from their skirmishers, and there we go. Their guys are on the move now. So as you can see on their right flank, currently I believe it's their chariots are coming down, but soon the rest of their cavalry follow. And as soon as you start to get that little tail from them on your tail, you want to bring your camel archers right the way back down to your infantry line. There will be no need at the beginning of this battle for you to bother getting your infantry in a fight unnecessarily. Basically, you want to only use your skirmishers and your cavalry at the beginning of this battle, and basically eliminate all of their camel archers and whatnot. So as you can see there, I just did a little circle at the top just to prove to you that slowly but surely all of their skirmishers start coming down, and yeah, they're totally unprotected. They keep the rest of their infantry on the hill. And don't forget, this is on legendary difficulty. I don't think I mentioned at the start of this video, but this is on legendary difficulty. If you follow these steps, you will win. Like, it's dead simple. As you can see, their chariots have just come through the trees there. Chariots are absolutely fucking terrible in trees. They lose total mobility, and you can get some massive hits on them here with using the skirmishers at the back there. We do use our lesser infantry. I believe it's Galatian swordsmen and that unit of spearmen, but you pretty much eliminate those guys from the get-go. But just bring those three poor infantry units back into position, and then start to flank with the cavalry. Now, as you can see, we tactically put some units of cavalry on our left flank and some on our right. This is for the sole reason of destroying the skirmishers. Now, what you want to do, you want to bring them right the way up the flank. If you get your cavalry to go straight for them, the AI registers that as a direct charge, and they'll retreat, and you'll end up kind of fucking up a little bit. What you want to do, you want to flank around, almost like you're faking sort of like a outflanking maneuver. You want to pretend to sort of loop round their back, their rear on the skirmishers, and then that way you've also got a height advantage, meaning you've got a bit of a charge. Now, as you can see, we're bringing our camel archers back into the mix, and we're also starting to loop around the back of them with our cavalry. Because we get given quite a lot of cavalry from the beginning of this video, you're not really that worried about numbers. As you can see, we've got another unit at the back there. We've also got a general, but there's no need to get him caught up in the mix either. So as you can see, we're pretty much going to be routing all of their units at the only expense of one unit of camel archers. And to be honest, those camel archers are throwaway. You don't need to worry about them at all. So literally relax if they die, and if they get routed, we've got plenty more units to cover them. So as you can see, we pretty much routed all their skirmishers at this point. It's taken a little under a few minutes. The tactic is just routing them off completely, because their infantry will not come down to support them. You can take advantage of that, but like I say, you know, their skirmishers are completely unprotected, and it's unbelievable how they don't support them. So as you can see, they're completely routed now. Now, there is one or two options that I chose. Obviously, I can only choose one option. I decided to carry on sort of the push up. You can come back, reform, however that gives their catapults and their artillery a lot more time to fire. As you can see, we're taking a fair bit of damage, so we're going to bring our, I believe they're Evocati cohort. If not, then I've probably just made my, yeah, no, they are, good, I'm glad about that. Oh, and Galatian Nobleman, I was correct, lovely, I'm happy about that, awesome. So yeah, you want to bring your main body of infantry up to the top, to sort of meet them at the crest of the hill. The main reason for that, obviously, staying back under the trees is not going to be a good idea. You're going to start taking damage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cease the commentary again now. I'm going to let you sort of move your soldiers up, get into position, and yeah, resume. Well, I'll resume narration when necessary.
Pontic Royal Cavalry! And forward! And charge! Cavalry! Legatus! In service to Rome! Pontic Royal Cavalry! For glory! Run quickly now! Run forward! Your orders! Engage!
Right, okay, I'm going to pick up commentary again. Obviously the last bit's fairly explanatory. We're just bringing up the bulk of our army, keeping those elephants behind for the time being, and charging forward with our cavalry. Now, as you can see, we're taking a fair bit of damage initially from their artillery, so we charge into those, make sure that you disrupt those and cease their fire. And then at the same time we're going to bring our cavalry round and start destroying theirs. Now they're significantly outnumbered. You can use that to our advantage really easily here and just pretty much kill and destroy their units. So you're going to want to keep your cavalry, because that's our main asset, away from their infantry, or at least away from their sort of pikemen. Now, as you can see, their Egyptian infantry is not a threat at all. They're really weak units. They're pretty much like your basic Hastati from Rome Total War 1. So yeah, carry on sort of charging forward. As you can see also here, obviously in your varieties of the games, if you follow generally what I do, you'll get a fairly similar outcome. However, you might not get that individual micro detail. For example, I've got a bulk of my cavalry killing up their infantry there, these 3 units, as you can see. However, you might have another infantry unit in there, or you might not have those chariots charging the rear of your cavalry. So you might not need to worry about those individual details. As it stands, though, what we're doing is we're locking those chariots in place. If you do get charged by them, lock their chariots in place and just charge with your cavalry, or lock them in with maybe some infantry. That way they won't be able to get a good sweep on you. So that's my recommendation anyway. The next sort of stage is bringing up your poor infantry. So by that I mean your Galatian swordsmen and your Galatian noblemen. Those 3 units are fairly expendable. They're great units for holding their line in place, or distracting their units, or maybe routing or surrounding some people. You don't want to be getting your main body of infantry involved in the fight for as late as possible. That way they've got strong numbers and strong health, and they're not going to be exhausted for the rest of the fight. As you can see, we've pretty much surrounded their general we've got him sort of sold off to the side of their flank behind their lines, and their pikemen are not going to be able to come to his help. I would also recommend, like I've done there, charging their infantry line as quick as possible. So obviously they've got pikes, they want to get those down and defended. If you can charge quickly, you won't have to worry about that. They will not be able to prepare themselves, and you can just bring up your skirmishers and just pepper those guys as much as you like, really. Like I say, you won't have to worry. Using your skirmishers, putting them on quick shot mode and heavy shot, and bring them really close and aiming on those pikemen, you will get an unbelievable amount of kills, because their pikemen are so poor in defense. You can just literally get kill after kill after kill, and as you can see, we're lining up getting ourselves ready. Our Evocati cohort, or however you pronounce it, they're all lined up. They've got their Pila on, so they're going to be killing their opponents really easily as well. As you can see, we've got our elephants running around doing some damage. Their elephants are running around doing some damage. So the main combatant for that is targeting them with our skirmishers. So once you've locked their infantry in place, as you can see down here, we start to perform the hammer and anvil charges against their rear lines. We've got our skirmishers focus firing on their horses. Honestly, they're fairly weak horses, so I believe they are African elephants or Indian. I can't remember. They'll be African elephants, wouldn't they? Of course, yeah. So they're not going to be that dangerous. They're not armoured or anything like that, so they're fairly susceptible to skirmishers. Once their threat is gone, which should be fairly quickly if you save your skirmishers and sort of retain onto some of the ammo, that means your elephants are going to be free to roam around and do as much damage as they can. You're going to want to bring them flanking. That's a great disruption to pikemen as well. So if they're lining up, they get themselves ready to meet your infantry head on. You want to bring your your mounted elephants straight through their lines. As you can see on the right hand side, I start to bring them into those that sort of phalanx, and it just completely disrupts them, completely dismays their units as well. And we're also enveloping in from the left, so it's pretty much hopeless for them at this point. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sum up the video here. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. As you can see, literally they're just getting absolutely ruined now at this point. It's just unbelievable how quickly they rout. For those of you who are interested, the statistics will be up, so you can pause the video, have a little look, have a little rewind through the game, see if there's anything that you didn't pick up, just rewind it, have another little look. If there's any questions, ping them in the comments and I'll make sure to reply to them as well. Either way guys, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to defeat the Egyptians on this battle. It's a pretty easy one, to be honest, even on legendary mode. I'm not the best at players in the world and I still manage it. So yeah, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next historical battle playthrough. Take care guys.